Today, I'm going to talk about how the recent federal interest rate hikes will affect you as a homeowner or as a buyer who wants to move to Anaheim Hills or Orange County or any other areas. So let's get right into it. As you are aware, back in December 2021 or fall of 2021, interest rates were hovering near 3% or 3.25%. Today, as of April 20th, 2022, rates are very close to 5%. And if it's a jumbo rate, it's more than 5% for a fixed rate. So the rates have gone up significantly. I guess they're doing this, the feds are doing this to control the inflation, which is pretty high, almost 8%, which is very high in the last 30 to 40 years. So how will this affect the home purchases, not only for you as a home seller or for you as a home buyer, but overall in Orange County or Anaheim Hills or pretty much in all of California? Hi, and before I get started, I wanted to thank you for watching this video, coming to my channel, and I really appreciate you watching this as my channel is growing. Thanks for your support. And at the same token, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel so this channel keeps growing and I can bring you more reports and updates and what's happening in the marketplace with the current reports and the current trends. So the best way to show you how the interest rate affects home buyers and home sellers is to give you an example. Let's say Anaheim Hills, the medium home sales price is $1 million. So let's take an example of $1 million home. If you're a buyer and you're gonna buy a house with a 20% down on $1 million house, and let's say last year when the rates were 2.5% early in 2021, at 2.5% when you buy $1 million home, your principal, interest, tax, and insurance, what we call the PITI, was approximately $4,178 monthly payment. Come back today, April 2022, the same house, $1 million, putting 20% down, which is $200, same down payment you were putting back then, but now the rates are 5%. Do you know what the payments are? Well, for the same house, same down payment, the payments are almost $5,200. So with a 5% interest rate on the same house, your payment comes out to $53.12 a month. But remember, at 2.5%, the payment was $41.78 per month. Same house, same down payment. And that's almost a difference of $1,200 a month, which is a lot of money when it comes to the same home at the same price and you're paying $1,200 more. So the big factor about the rates going up is what we call the affordability factor. So what's happening right now is a lot of the buyers who could afford $1 million house back in 2021 spring and summer cannot afford that $1 million house today because the rates went up, so their affordability factor went down. So for the same buyer, now instead of buying $1 million house, he or she can only buy a $900,000 house or an $850,000 house. So the payments are coming out at $41.78. So this will affect the demand. In fact, as of April 2022, we have seen from the reports coming out from the multiple listing service and market trends report, we have seen that there's a significant, I wouldn't say significant, but there's a big difference between the homes went into pending in 2022 April when we compare that to homes went pending in April 2021. So there is a slight slowdown that we are seeing because of the interest rate. So if you're a buyer, you can buy a lesser house or you buy the same house for a bigger payments. And if you're a seller, the buyers is gonna rethink about buying your house, which is $1 million, assuming it's for sale for $1 million. They may buy something smaller, so your pool of buyers is becoming smaller as we go along. Hope that makes sense. So what happens is, as the affordability factor goes down, so when the demand goes down, which is the number of homes going into escrow, when that slows down, that affects the time it takes to sell a house. So when the interest rates go up, affordability goes down, pendings go down, so it takes longer to sell a house, and this affects not only the buyers but also the seller. Now, how does it affect the seller? Well, if you're a seller and if somebody is going to think about buying your house, maybe he cannot afford your home, so it's going to take you longer to sell a house. So you may have to wait longer and you cannot get the price increase that you were getting last year or the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. When your neighbor sold for $1 million, sellers immediately wanted $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 more because the next door neighbor sold for $1 million. And of course, your carpet is better than your neighbor's carpet. So the prices went up. Not anymore. You have to be very careful now. When you list your home, you have to be very competitive. As the demand is going down, it's going to take longer to sell. And the other factor that's going to happen as we go along, and of course this is a prediction and trend we are going to see now, we are no longer going to see the ridiculous price rise as we had seen before. So just because your neighbor sold for $1 million, you cannot sell for 1.1. You may have to just list it for $1 million. Not only that, but on the offers that we were getting from the buyers, the sellers were demanding that appraisal should not be an issue. So if the house appraised at $950 and they bought it for $1 million, the buyers had to dish out the $50,000 extra. So that's going to go away. A lot of the sellers said, buy the house as it is. We're not going to fix anything. That may go away. That means if there's a dishwasher leaking or something's not working, you may have to fix that to satisfy the buyer. And a lot of the sellers were demanding to stay 30 days, 60 days for free so they have time to find another house. That may go away. So there's a significant change in the market coming, all because of the interest rate. And like they say in real estate, the interest rate is a time bomb. So rates are going up and that's going to slow the housing market. We're already seeing that. And by the way, I'm not trying to scare you and saying that doom and gloom is coming. I'm just giving you the facts. What happens when rates go up? It affects the housing market. And of course, for the last 10 years, we have seen the prices go up. For the last 10 years, since 2011, 2012, prices has gone up significantly, which has never happened in the history of real estate as far as I know. They've gone up 5, 6, 7 years and they stop. This time the cycle has been 10 to 11 years. So like they say, whatever goes up comes down. That's true in real estate. Prices have gone up and up and up and up, and it's coming down, which is okay, which is normal, which is cyclic. It happens. Same thing with interest rate. They've gone down and down and down and down, 2.2% fixed rate. So now they're gonna come up. So nothing to panic. This is just cyclic, normal real estate cycle. By the way, if you have any questions, any concern, or have specific questions, feel free to contact me, whether you're a buyer or a seller. I'll be glad to help you. I've been serving Anaheim Hills and North Orange County for years, and I'll be glad to help you in any way I can. So one of the other things I wanted to suggest to you is that even though the rates are going up and things are slowing down, and I'm not trying to be negative, but if I sound negative, I want to leave here with a positive note. Even though the demand is slowing down, prices may go down, you may have to sell it at your appraised value, you may have to do repairs, it may take longer to sell. One thing's for sure, not for sure, but one thing that we predict or that I see is that we're not going to have a housing crash that people are talking about. I don't see, based on the reports, based on talking to other people, we don't see a housing bubble. Things are slowing down, that's normal, but more homes will come on the market. All the sellers that were in COVID that were not selling are going to start selling. So we should see an increase in inventory. The other thing is a lot of the sellers have a lot of equity. So even if they lose jobs or lose business and all that, they can still sell their home and have money coming out of the house when they sell the home because of the equity. So we don't see the housing crash in the near future unless something very radical happens outside of the real estate control. Hope this helps. Hope to hear from you. Please subscribe, please like and share this video.